Speaking of Gerrit Cole, he gets bounced out again, KO'd in the second inning yesterday against the Tigers. 1 2/3, gives up 2 runs, got 5 walks. So he walks, I think, 5 of 11 batters that he faced. Xavier, what do you think of what I said earlier to Mad Dog? Given that I'm looking at it saying, I hate to say, he's getting paid so much money, he must perform. That's not how it works. However, there's an expectation and a responsibility when you go top-end money, maximum length.
Yeah, and I think there's a different expectation when you're talking about the Yankees, right? And we look at that division this year, and there's no let-up. So if he's not on his game, you're talking about a #1 starter has to be locked in every time out. But let's not forget, second in Cy Young last year. He did a good job. Now it's about finding the release point. I think that's the one thing I've seen with him is the release point is out too far. If he gets it back straight line to where everything looks like a fastball coming out, then the cutter looks better, then the slider. But to me, I think he'll find his form back. I don't think this is a new Gerrit Cole, right?
You know, I'm watching him, just that he's come up small a lot of different times. Down the stretch in the final weeks, I know he had the hamstring issue, then in the wild card game, and you don't expect that. And as I mentioned to Mad Dog, take a look at some of the numbers that there have been for the past 3 years. This is just the last 3 years, not those. The next one, that's the splits with, that's the tacky stuff. There's a lot of issues, hamstring, tacky stuff, this and that. I'm saying last 3 years, his ERA plus is 131. That's a 3.25 ERA in 265 innings. Where does he rank? So innings, 7th. So no, he's pitching. Park-adjusted ERA, that's ERA plus, 12th. Did the Yankees expect him to be the 12th best pitcher in run prevention? No, they expected a top 5 guy. But I think the important thing there, RA9 WAR at the bottom. Mike Lowell, as I mentioned to Mad Dog, that includes innings pitched. He's 15th. I mean, he's not even top 10. What do you think of him?
I think it could be 2 things. There could be other pitchers that are actually coming into their own, which kind of pushes him down. But when you're getting that type of money, I mean, it was record-breaking money to go to the New York Yankees. You don't ever expect an outing of an inning and a third and 5 walks. I think that's the part that surprises me is that when he struggles, he's really struggling. Do I think he's going to come back? Absolutely. What I do like, he's still striking guys out at a high rate. So the stuff is there. The velocity's there. I think it's a little bit of he's got to figure out his mechanics, the bullpen. You can see when a guy is throwing in front of the dugout, whether it's cold, I know it's cold in Detroit and all that, but he doesn't have the feel that he's used to. And this is start number 3. It's not time, for, panic and doom. But the Yankees, like Xavier said, this is a division where you just can't, loosen up for 2-3 weeks. You'll be 7 games behind where you were before. So there's a lot of pressure being a #1 guy, but when you take the big money, you have to accept the pressure that comes with it.
By the way, Concern, Panic, Doom is a segment on our show. That's a Concern, Panic, Doom.
I made it both Panic and Doom.
We haven't used that the flames of doom come firing up. I just would expect so much more from this guy. And then you wonder, remember the opening day? He didn't like the pregame ceremony. He was amped up. He goes back out there. It's kind of shades of, Roger Clemens at his worst. Not at his best. They want Clemens at his best, not at his worst.
Well, we can't forget that the shortened spring training, right? It's going to affect guys differently. And one of the things it could be affecting Gerrit Cole in a different manner. If we look a few weeks down the line, if this guy's carving guys up, we're going to forget about what he did the first couple of starts. But I think one of the things we scrutinize is because look at the last start against the Blue Jays and him getting knocked around within his own division, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think we look closely at the division and what he's done from the beginning. But if he finishes out strong, this team could be all right.
No, I think they will be all right. And I would expect him to be a lot better than all right. And that's kind of the point. You know where I had him in top 10 right now? Because you did third baseman with us here. At starting pitching. I had him 7th. Okay. I was a little down on him. That's down. Gerrit Cole should be top
3, right?
Oh, it should be DeGrom, Scherzer, Cole. And the last couple of years, that's been the mix at the top. I had him way down. The Shredder had him number 2. Okay. So objectively, without emotion or bias. See, I'm getting a little emotional.
Yeah.
I throw that in. I just coming up small a bunch of times.
You're a teddy bear, BK.
That's it. Or Mad Dog's rubbing off on me.